Greetings and welcome, brave citizens of our new world. I'm Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terawatt. This is our Lair 3.0, and today is day 6 of our V.E.D.A challenge. V.E.D.A, vlogging every day in April. So 2 things I want to get out of the way first. 1, yes, I am wearing my Dream Daddy shirt, because it's comfortable, and I love it. And 2, the person who gave it to me, it's her birthday today. So happy 23rd birthday to Hasbel.
It's my birthday!
On to the questions. Follow up to your evolution questions, is there an environment that would make evolution impossible or at least difficult, such as less gravity, being underwater, increased radiation, less sunlight? If these environments are too harsh, would some kind of gradual exposure help us adapt? Would it ever even be worth the effort to find out? Well, funny thing, we don't just respond to the stimulus of our environment, we also respond to a lack of stimulus from our environment. For example, people that are Caucasian like myself, our skin has lightened in response to the less sunlight that we receive in the parts of the world that we live in, closer to the North or South Pole. I only asked because I cannot figure out how you keep me from opening a dimensional rift into the places I've seen. The sprinklers and holograms do a great job keeping me from coming in the front or back door. That is a trade secret, Cat Monroe, which I'm not just gonna reveal on the air. Shame. Question, and this has been bugging me for a while. What if someone doesn't want to not age? What if they want the storybook Let's Grow Old Together? What if they are just done with their prime? What do you do in that situation? Unfortunately, in that situation, they're just gonna have to live with it. The idea isn't to pick and choose who wants to grow old and who doesn't. It's just everybody gets this virus, nobody grows old anymore, and then that's it. I am not going to stop the evolution of my new society over the fact that a few people are romanticizing aged death. Assisted suicide, though, will be allowed in the new society, so if you've been alive for a few centuries and you're just done and you don't want to do that anymore, then by all means. Growing old together with somebody is a thing that we talk about because we grow old. It's not to do with the physical aging, it is to do with the spending lots of time with your partner. I've been noticing this phenomenon lately, so I have to ask, is it like a rite of passage to have your lair attacked, or even just to have an enemy superhero? I have neither, and I feel like I might be falling behind. No, Hatter, jeez. No. For villains like us, having our lair raided or having superhero arch nemesis isn't necessarily something we always enjoy. Like, we make the best of it through, like, stinger one-liners and stuff like that, and traps and torture, etc., but ultimately our jobs would be a lot easier if there weren't people getting in the way constantly. There's some evidence that allergies are actually partially a result of us keeping things too clean so that the immune system has little to do and freaks out, plus not exposing babies to potential allergens. Basically, the rise of allergies is probably environmental and not genetic. Same goes for increased rates of nearsightedness. That's from not going outside enough. Turns out your eyes don't develop or maintain properly without sufficient sunlight exposure. I don't know about that. I mean, with regards to the glasses, that just sounds like some older people who are wanting to fund some research that's like, you kids don't go outside enough now, and you all need your glasses. Like, I had huge glasses when I was a kid, and I went outside just as much now as I did then. As a matter of fact, I go outside less now than I used to. But my eyesight was corrected as I was growing up wearing those glasses, because that's exactly what they were for. My dad had bad eyesight, his dad had glasses, and so on and so forth. So it certainly made sense that I would be born needing glasses, but thankfully enough, I had the corrective ones growing up, and now I don't need them. With regards to allergies, I would say that it's not just environmental or just genetic. I could say that there's a lot of evidence suggesting it's both. I mean, there's a lot of people that show that folks that grow up in the country that are exposed to a lot of allergens end up growing up with very few allergies but have a weaker immune system. Folks that grow up in the city that are exposed to a lot of germs grow up with a stronger immune system but have more allergies. That's the thing. It depends on your environment, but it's also to do with your genetic makeup. Like, if you have parents that are predisposed to certain allergies, then odds are you're also going to be predisposed. That being said, if you do certain things with your environment, you can also sort of overcome that. An example would be, I used to drink milk all the time when I was a kid growing up. I absolutely loved it, and then I moved out, stopped drinking milk for a few months, tried to have a glass, and threw up like crazy because the preservatives that they use in milk in North America, which are illegal everywhere else on the planet, make me sick. But just the regular and constant consumption of them caused my body to become used to it. So basically, a person could have certain allergies or genetic predispositions, but as long as they continue to expose themselves to that particular material, their body could continuously condition itself to deal with that material and not have a reaction. You talk a lot about saving humanity, but what about nature? Any plans on stopping climate change, protecting the rainforest, endangered species, and all that jazz? For the most part, yes. There's a lot of really large-scale changes that we can make to our society that would vastly assist the environment that we're absolutely not doing. Things like a massive overhaul of the meat and dairy and chicken, poultry industries, all of that stuff. How we store and distribute all of our food and other consumables. Our power generation and distribution infrastructures, transportation. All of these things could easily be overhauled, but there's a lot of rich people that have all of their money invested in old, outdated, dangerous, and environmentally unsafe technologies that are forcing us to basically stay in those technologies until they decide that they're done with it. We don't need wood anymore. We have better materials for that now, so we don't need to cut down the rainforests for their wood. We don't need to hunt rare and exotic creatures any longer. We can allow them to maintain and populate. Science has allowed us to move away from a lot of that stuff. So yes, I do have plans on assisting the planet we live here. Dear Doc, do you read for fun? If yes, what's your favorite book? Not really. I mean, I occasionally will read for fun if a particular book really catches my interest. A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson's a favorite of mine. I also enjoyed the Harry Potter series and several other similar books. It's just with dyslexia, reading's not really a sit down and relax enjoyable thing. It's like sitting down and juggling while trying to read at the same time is like one of the ways I try to describe it. Like it's tedious and it requires a lot of attention, and it's just not something that I do for recreation. Hey Doc, as an entertainer, I often find I lack purpose and that my work isn't achieving what I want. What do you recommend I do to fight off the feels? Honestly, like, ask yourself why it is you're doing this stuff. Are you trying to be a creator because you want to be famous, because you want to be noticed, because you want money, or what? Because there's a lot of different ways to tell a story or express yourself via art that doesn't require gratification from the public or monetarily. If you're trying to work on a project and it's not going where you want it to go, ask yourself why that is. Why are you not succeeding at your thing? Is it just because no one's really noticed you on the internet? Like, I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, I think. And I'm still kind of around where I started. Like, I've grown a larger community, we've expanded into other forms of media, and that's fun. Like, I'm kind of just starting to live on this now. But I'm not Markiplier, and I don't think I ever will be. Like, I'm not a big, crazy content creator that makes lots of money. It all just depends on what you want to do and what's in your way, and sticking to it. Like I always tell people, make stuff because you want to make stuff. Make videos in such a way that you would be happy with you being the only person who ever saw them. Like, if nobody ever watched my content, I'd still make it. Because it's fun, and I enjoy the process. But the community interaction and the views and stuff like that are an added bonus. So, yeah. I demand a brief Jean-Claude Van Damme montage. Now do it! Dance, monkey, dance! No. Would you ever go bird watching? Not even once. Hey Doc, when will blast processing come back? Not soon. Possibly not ever. I mean, we're doing highlight reels that are about 10 minutes long to be used as timers for our Twitch stream. The link for that is in the bio down below. And we've started doing it Tuesdays to Thursdays. I need to change the card that we currently have on the Twitch stream. And that's kind of where I'm going with my Let's Plays and stuff like that. Like, blast processing was a lot of fun, and I freaking loved that. And I loved being able to record and then edit and make these cohesive episodes so that people could watch the content and come along with us. But at the end of the day, like, it just wasn't really getting me anything. Like, it was fun to do, but I'm finding streaming more fun for me to do. Because I get to play the games, I get to interact with my audience while I'm doing it. We get to do things together, and then if they want to throw donations at me, then they can. Whereas there isn't an option for that with YouTube anywhere, ever. It's just watch the videos, like and subscribe and share if you can, but there's nowhere for someone to be like, that was a really cool move in the game you just did, here's 100 bits, which is worth a dollar, like, here you go. Like, just for fun. Already, that person made me more money than YouTube made me in like a year. Plus, what we often did with blast processing was we took highlights from a lot of the stuff that we did, and then we made episodes, whereas in this, you guys get to choose the highlights that we use. A lot of people will clip little bits of it, and then I cut them together into these compilation episodes, right? That format just feels better right now. So that's kind of where we've been moving blast processing, is onto our Twitch channel. You have a vague Victor Von Doom vibe going on. Thank you very much. Where have you drawn your inspiration/ideas for your persona from? A number of different things. I was a really big fan of Dexter's Lab when I was a kid, Pinky and the Brain, and the costuming kind of came from just what I had on hand. The lab coat, the vest, pants, shirt, the gloves, the glasses and everything. Like, it just all kind of like, oh, I have this stuff here. Okay, cool. And I threw it on. It was also largely inspired by another supervillain that I was writing back when I was in high school called Dr. Discrimination, who evolved into this. Hey Doc, any con that you recommend since Quinty Minicon seems gone? Yes, G-Anime was really fun this year. I had an absolutely amazing time going out and seeing everybody out there in the Gatineau area. YetiCon is also such a good convention up in Blue Mountain Ski Resort during the summer. Oh my god, so much fun. Con Bravo, also fantastic. And actually, you know what, on that vein, the people from Con Bravo have contacted me and been like, hey, we saw your V.E.D.A, don't worry. They just... Currently, like I had mentioned that a lot of the staff had changed out, like those people had stepped aside, and then a bunch of new people stepped in as like the con chair and all the supporting upper command structure. They're just kind of getting their feet wet and moving through the process of reacclimating themselves to working as the Con Bravo's command staff. So they're kind of just getting through everything that they want to do, like what they want to put on for content, where the content's going to be. By and large, it's going to be the same great convention that everybody remembers, they've assured me, but they're just sort of feeling out where they are and making improvements where they can, and eventually they'll be getting around to featured panelists. Speaking of rebranding, has anyone ever called you Dr. Holocaust since then? I mean, I feel like there may be that small few that are way behind. Yeah, every now and then, some people still walk up to me and I have to correct them, but it happens. Have you done leg day? Can't skip leg day. As a matter of fact, Fridays, today, was my leg day, and wow, it was rough. Never skip leg day, though, and don't skip cardio. Why the heck are you up so late, Doc? What happened to the healthy shenanigans? I mean, I'm still being healthy. I'm getting to bed and getting 8 hours of sleep, eating well, exercising. But I work in the evenings, and if I'm going to be out, you know, picking up parts and working on stuff in the first half of the day, then the last half of the day kind of comes up on me, and then I don't have time to do this until after my stream, like right now. It's like 12:49 right now, and I still need to eat dinner after I record this. Where do you think you'd sit on the D&D Pathfinder alignment scale? Chaotic good. I discovered you and your content after the rebranding had occurred. I understand there were webcomics and blogs on your website under your prior moniker that are no longer available to see. Is there some way the curious can access such content? I completely understand the change. Your former name was more distinctive, but a resurgent of neo-Nazis ruins everything. It does ruin everything. Man, screw those guys. I used to have blogs. Yeah, I used to blog on my old website. And I'm thinking about maybe bringing those blogs back. I mean, I still have them on my hard drive here. They're currently not available anywhere on the internet, but my old video content is still on my old YouTube channel, which does still exist. If you go to my current YouTube channel and you're looking at the home page of it, along the right side, like your right, there will be a thing there that's like related channels, and it should be renamed to like Evil Inc. Archives or something like that. So if you click on that, then it'll take you to all my old stuff. Old stuff, if you want to look through some older, possibly worser content. Let's say, sometime after you've taken over the world, you discover absolute, irrefutable, non-challenging, undeniable proof that a particular religion is entirely false. Do you share that information with the world? Well, no. I mean, to me, religion's not about proving facts. It's not about proving that your God exists. It's about believing in stuff. Faith is believing in something that really can't be proven, that you have no proof of. Like, when you have faith that someone will come to your rescue, it's not like you're sitting there with irrefutable proof that they're going to rescue you. You just hope that they do. And I feel like religious faith is somewhat similar in the sense that you believe that there is this God who sits upon clouds with angels and the whole thing, and doles out to us a moral system for which we should live and be a higher consciousness above the specific nature, whatever it is that the religion is. There are no facts that prove that those things exist. So even if I were to find irrefutable evidence that they don't exist, which can easily be found in the massive lack of tangible proof that they exist at all, it's not about that. It's about believing in something and dedicating your life to a set of morals and to the the poetry and the moving beliefs that some of these religions have. Like, I don't think that David fought Goliath and Goliath was an actual giant and he slew him with a slingshot. I think it was a story told to inspire people to overcome their adversaries that were perceivably larger than them. But that's my personal opinion on that. I know a lot of people get really upset when I say, like, it's okay for religion not to be real. A lot of people don't like to sacrifice being an asshole all the time just for something that may or may not be real, so they like finding whatever tangible proof they can find to prove that whatever it is that they believe in that stops them from being an awful person all the time, that inhibits their urges of just monstrosity in general. Whenever they gotta hold on to that proof so that they can just not be a dick to people. Instead of just, not being a dick, just because it's great not being mean to folks. I don't know. Anyway, that's all the time that we have for questions for today. If I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. You can try reposting it below. If you have new questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I will get to as many of them tomorrow as I can. And until next time, my brave citizens, I'm Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terawatt. This is our Lair 3.0, and I will see you again tomorrow on our next episode of V.E.D.A. End of line.